This is a hymn to Kali. She's in the form of Kalaratri, the night of death. She's dancing the dance of creation and dissolution, also known as Bhagavati or Prakriti, nature. She is what is going on, or what appears to be going on. Since she manifests great anger towards evil, she is known as Chandika. She has a terrifying appearance, and the reason for this is she's the mind. And spiritually speaking, we want as little to do with the mind as possible. We want the mind to realize its essence as awareness, as pure awareness. And that's what we keep coming back to at the first possible opportunity. And the evil is forgetting this. So Kali is reminding us, do not get involved in me. Get involved in that which gives rise to me, which was described in the previous paragraph as Shiva, the pure consciousness, pure and tranquil. Since she's of the colour of the blue lotus, she is known as Utpala. She's of the colour of space. She is known as Jaya because she is always victorious. She always brings our attention back into what is going on. It's her nature to be victorious. It's her nature to hypnotize us and to believe that our delusion is reality. She is known as Siddha because perfection rests in her. And this perfection is realizing her true nature as Maya, as delusion. Jaya is also known as Jayanti, as also vijaya, all of which signify victory. The victory can be the victory of delusion, of Kali, or it can be the victory of those who inquire into her true nature, who truly understand the nature of the worship of Kali. They inquire into it, and in that way is victory. Since she is unconquerable, she is known as Parajita. We do not fight Kali. In understanding our essence, we do not fight Kali. We inquire into her. We have to accept her totally. We accept totally what is going on without imposing our own ideas on it. There is no other way. In this way she's unconquerable. She is known as Durga since her form or real nature is beyond our grasp. It's beyond the grasp of the mind. We have to move beyond the field of cognition. We need to move beyond everything that we think we know. She is known as Uma because she is the very essence of the sacred monosyllable Om. She is called Gayatri because her names are sung by all, and also Savitri because she is the creatrix of all. She is the expansion of one's vision of all things, and hence she is known as Sarasvati. Sarasvati is the goddess of wisdom and learning. Since she is of white or red or yellow colour, she is known as Gauri, since she exists as a ray of light in one who sleeps, and in one who has been awakened by the contemplation of the subtle inner vibrations produced by the sound of Om. She is known as Indukala, ray of the moon. And the ray of the moon is what gives relief from the scorching heat of the daylight sun. Since she and Shiva have space as their real form, their bodies have a blue colour. Space is their flesh, bones, everything. They exist in space as space. The conventional assumptions about space are somewhat outmoded. Most of us think of space in what we could call the Newtonian sense. There's something fixed and out there which doesn't do very much. But consider the space that exists in a dream. In a dream, we have so many different things going on. We might have sky, we might have buildings, other people. We have earth, we have water. Are all these things in our dream different? We call it dream. We are quite happy to slap the label of dream onto it and say that all these things are of the same essential nature. We might describe it as the consciousness of the dreamer. But what about the space in a dream? Is the space in a dream somehow different from the buildings, from the people, from the earth, from the water that appears in the dream? Or is the space also of the nature of the dream? So the space is no different from what arises within it, as far as the dream is concerned. And as has been pointed out many times before, the same mechanism which gives rise to dream gives rise to our whole experience of the phenomenal universe. So space is part of it all. It's part of what has come into being. It's of the same nature as awareness. It's what allows everything to be in the dream or in the phenomenal universe. So this is the form of Kali and Shiva. They exist in space as space. Her dance with different gestures, etc., symbolizes the creation, decay and death of all beings. She is conceived of as having limbs because she creates the worlds by the movement of her energy. This Kali invests all things with their characteristics by the power inherent in her own limbs, as it were. And it's only the characteristics of things that we really know. We only experience the properties of something, and then from that we surmise the existence of an object. We experience the heat and the shape and colour of the flame. And so we call it the flame, but all we're really experiencing is the heat and form and colour. So all this is down to Kali, these characteristics. This is what is going on. Kali is what is going on right now. But one cannot by any means apprehend her limbs, nor can her real nature be described. Just as a motion within space is experienced by us as air, even so the dynamic energy of consciousness is experienced by the action or motion that takes place in that consciousness. The characteristic of everything is that awareness within which that thing arises. So through Kali we realize Shiva. However, motion or action cannot be regarded as the quality of consciousness because it has no qualities nor characteristics. Consciousness is pure and utterly tranquil beyond all description. The notion of motion in consciousness is ignorance. And this is the essential contradiction, which I pointed out in the last video and before. Consciousness is pure. There is no movement in consciousness. But there is also this dynamic manifestation going on. And this is the arena of spiritual practice. Being completely open to what is going on and realizing the awareness within which everything is going on. The notion of motion in consciousness is ignorance. Well, any notion is ignorance. But it's that motion which gives rise to ignorance. The motion of the attention, the movement of the attention. As soon as it moves from one notion to another, from one sensation to another, and then it creates notions, it creates further notions. But when the attention tends to itself, then we have realization. Then we touch the essence of everything. This is the dynamic of spiritual practice. This is the dynamic of enlightenment practice.